I'm Jeff Philbin, and this is Dinner DeeAs, the show with ideas for dinner for you. Today, we're taking our very own Roman holiday as we have a rendezvous with authentic Italian porchetta, plus risotto croquettes and spaghetti. Cacio e Pepe. Joining me in the Dinner DeeAs kitchen today is Chef Alessandro Toia. He started his culinary journey with a restaurant in his hometown of Rome, where his traditional recipes caught the attention of Anthony Bourdain. Now he's going to show us how to make them. Though he's not just flown over from Italy to be on Dinner DeeAs, which, I mean, that would be a treat. He relocated a decade ago and now runs the food truck Porchettoni, based out of St. Pete. And first up today, the recipe that started it all, as he makes porchetta.
We have like a pork belly, a pork loin, and with skin on,
Okay.
which is very important.
Why is that very important?
Because the skin is the best part of the porchetta.
Okay.
You want it nice and crispy.
And that's what is going to have that beautiful crust that's going to be, that crunch that's going to be there, and all those flavor.
Correct.
So you got to take me on this journey, my friend. How do we prepare this then?
All right, so we start. Okay, as I told you, we have this pork belly. We start with putting some salt on it.
Now, is pork belly hard for the everyday consumer to find in a grocery store, or?
Not really, not really.
Okay.
No, maybe you have to order it in advance, but I think you can find it easily.
Okay.
I mean, I find it easily. So.
You find it easy. All right, perfect.
So, okay, we start with the salt. So basically we have to salt the entire porchetta. Then we have ground black pepper.
Nice.
Same thing, a lot of black pepper.
And you're going over everything.
Yeah,
You want to have
you have to cover the whole belly.
And so even distribution.
Yeah.
Now, how much would this feed?
Well, one of these, easily 20 people.
20 people.
Yeah.
All right, so we're bringing all the friends over, the family over. This is where it's the whole celebration of food, family, and festivities?
Yeah. You know, porchetta is very, as I told you before, it's very old recipe. It dates back before the Roman Empire. And it was, the legend says, it was invented by DeeAs, that during his flight from Troy, once he arrived to the Italian shores, he made his first porchetta out of the wild boar in the nearby wood of Artemis, the goddess of hunting. And in fact, during the Roman Empire, it was known as Porcus Troianus. And the Emperor Nero, and especially Julius Caesar, were fond of it.
Okay.
And it was handed down to us till now, and it's wonderful. I love it. I used to eat it since I was a kid.
And this is just dried garlic here?
Yeah, just dried garlic.
And it looks very simple. I mean,
Yeah, it is simple.
it looks.
You remember that Italian cuisine, the first rule of Italian cuisine is simplicity.
That's the rule.
Yeah. You see, I just put basically some herbs, some salt, black pepper, garlic, and that's it.
And that's just what, a dried.
This is dried rosemary.
Dried rosemary.
Now, what we have to do now is we grab the pork belly, we put it in the middle, and then we start to tie it up.
We just tie it up. Okay. Show us how to do that piece here.
All right. So basically, you grab this, the meat, the belly, you roll it over like this. Mm-hmm. You select it a little.
You gotta just give it a little love. It's just a little touch, a little tap of love.
It's all about love.
That's the way I've always thought food was. I thought that was the secret ingredient.
Yeah, that's the secret ingredients for sure. Okay, so now we start putting the string.
Okay. Now I want to take the Chef Jeff cam because I want you to show us how and what you're doing there to tighten it up. And that's really an important piece here.
It needs some little bit of strength.
But it's important to have that strength. It's important to make it tight.
Yeah.
You want to have a uniform cook.
Correct. So basically, you do this. That's at least that's how I do at least.
Okay. So it's very much like almost like just starting to tie a shoelace, where you cross the lines over.
Correct.
We just tie a simple knot on that, and that's going just to allow for.
Yeah, I don't make like fancy knots.
Okay. And that's pretty tight.
Yeah.
And you need it to be pretty tight, right?
It has to be. Yeah.
Now, what happens if you don't make it tight?
It's gonna fall apart. Usually, you also have to sew it.
Okay.
But I don't do that because it's not necessary.
Okay, so if you wanted to sear it, you could.
you can sew it, but to make it more more tight.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, this is far enough.
And so then we would just sear it with the string on, so that way everything stays intact, and then we would put it into the oven, so that way then it finishes and cooks from the inside out, right?
Correct.
Okay. It's kind of fun when you get to like tie it super tight, because it's just like you get to let out all the aggression of the day. You kind of like use all the strength of your body to just make it, because you've got two different types here of the pork here, with having the belly and then you have the pork loin into it. So I mean, you want to make sure you're getting a good cook, and that way then it's consistent around. And the skin here is absolutely beautiful.
When it's cooked, it's even better.
That's the excitement, because I know what it should look like, and I'm just seeing this right here in its raw form, and it's like, this is just going to crisp up. This is just going to be beautiful flavor that's going to come together so nicely.
So Jeff, your name is Jeffrey, right?
That's right.
Or Geoffrey?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. You want to know the Italian counterpart?
Please, I would love to know.
Goffredo.
Goffredo?
Yep.
Folks.
Can I call you Goffredo?
Let's do it. Come on now. I've never heard that one. That was a whole new one. So Goffredo.
Goffredo. All right.
I dig it. All right. Very
all right,
cool.
Goffredo.
Now, what does it mean? Because Jeffrey translates to divinely peaceful. I know that piece from its English origins.
Uh-huh.
So does it still carry over from an Italian?
I guess so.
All right. Well, hey, I'm still divinely peaceful for what that means and what that matters, but Goffredo, I take it. All these years I've been trying to be Italian, okay? I took Italian in high school for 4 years, 2 years in college of Italian. I was supposed to do a big backpacking trip, got right out of college, didn't take that trip, and so this is my little piece of coming back to being, Italian here.
Okay, now we're gonna press the belly so that it goes all around the.
Okay, so you want to make sure that once it's tight and you've got a better control, because it's a little bit hard. This is a little bit of a skill and technique. Now you're just trying to even everything out, so that way then it continues to have that consistent cook once it goes into the oven. So you just want to. Now, I got to ask you this, because I love to eat. I love entertaining folks that love to eat and coming over for it there, and I'm sure you all at home do too. But for those that are wanting something a little bit smaller, could they find and could they work with smaller portions to make a dish like this?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But this, once you make this, it may take maybe a little if you're not used to it. But once you make it, you put it in the refrigerator, it lasts 10 days.
Okay, so you've got dinner, you got lunch, you've got new ways to enjoy it for the snacks.
Everything.
All right, perfect.
Because this is perfect with sandwiches. Sandwiches, a plate with, with a side of fries. That's what I do. I'm a food truck, side of fries. But you can do mashed potatoes, you can do roast potatoes. Any kind of veggies.
I love it. And a little bit later on, when we're making our Cacio Pepe, that's going to be served with our Cacio Pepe. So you want to stick around.
That's my recipe.
I love it. What's next then?
Next thing, you have to make holes on the skin.
Okay.
Because you want the fat, all the fat in the to drip off the porchetta.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's not gonna be good. So you make some hole here. I forgot.
Now, is there a method or a reason or rhyme with where you're going to make those incisions? we're going to let out the whole piece of just saying, I got the knife, I'm going for it.
Okay.
Is there any,
And you
No?
can see it's done.
easy?
How long did it take? Like 10 minutes?
If that, I love it.
You see?
I think it's time for the oven.
All right.
All
Yeah,
right, perfect.
Sure.
So how do we do this part now? We're going to put this into an oven that's already going to be heated at what?
Okay, it has to be at 400 degrees.
Okay.
And then what you need is like a pan to put beneath the porchetta, because we're gonna put the porchetta on the rack.
Now the pan already has water in there, and
Correct.
what is that for?
The water is to avoid the fat that drips in it to get burned.
Okay.
You don't
And this
want
is going to go straight onto the oven rack?
Correct.
All right. Perfect. All right. And that has at least equal distribution, so that way then those fat drippings are not going to go into that water, so that way then it's not going to smoke up the house.
Correct.
Fantastic.
That's the thing.
I love it. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and while our porchetta cooks, when we come back, risotto, but not as we know it. I'll say this, though. There's bacon, and there's deep frying involved, all ahead on Dinner DeeAs.
A lot of good stuff.
Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. I'm apparently Goffredo Philbin. That's Jeff Philbin, an American. And if you can't stop thinking about the Roman Empire, you're in the right place. Because before the break, our guest chef, Alessandro Toia, showed us how to make a recipe dating back to Roman times, a traditional porchetta. It's the dish he wowed Anthony Bourdain with, and now it's on the menu of his Porcatoni food truck based out of St. Pete. And another one of our Roman rendezvous recipes is on the way. We have all the ingredients for a simple risotto. We've got bacon, white wine, tomato puree, arborio rice, and if you want to see how it all comes together, how Chef Alessandro makes it, follow us on Instagram to see it all come together. That's also the place to find out what we have coming up on the show each day at Dinner DeeAs. And hey, our DMs are open if you want to hit us up. After you've made your risotto, of course, though, because it's got to go into the fridge for at least 2 hours to cool down.
Correct.
And then we're ready to actually turn it into a new dish.
Sure.
And that dish is?
Supplì.
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 How do we get this
The
going?
king of Roman street food.
This is the king of the Roman street food.
Yeah. You usually have it we have in Italy, we have in Rome, basically, more in Rome, I would say, we have the pizza by the cut. So you go there and you choose the flavor you want. You get like a slice of pizza this big.
Okay.
And then there you also find this.
This is the one. All right, so you got to show me how to do this because I want to get my hands into this one.
So basically you grab some risotto with your hand, then you shape it like a football ball.
Okay.
You do like a
indentation.
Yeah, with your finger.
Okay.
You grab a piece of mozzarella.
Okay. So I just made a little hot dog bun. Just made a little hot dog. All right, as you can see that little opening.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Now what? Am I gonna stuff it?
Yep. You're gonna stuff it, and then you have to cover it. You have to shape it like this. Okay.
Squish it in, and then do I bring
I'll
it to
show
like a
you.
ball? Show me how this is done. I want to see the professional.
That's how I do, but I mean, there's no.
Come on, you came all this way to do this. This is okay.
You
So
close it, and then you shape it again.
Okay, so then, and are you going back to having it be a long cylinder again? Okay.
Yeah.
Chef Alessandro's Roman recipes, thankfully, are translated from the original Latin and are, of course, available to you at dinnerdeas.com. Grab your phone, open up the camera, and point at the QR code to get the link. And while you're there, don't forget, you can watch any of our shows over again. So is this one good?
Yep.
All right, so where do you want me to put it? Just to the side?
Once you're done with that, you have to put it here on the.
This is the trick here.
Yeah, the breadcrumbs.
Okay.
You roll it over till it's heavily.
And what kind of breadcrumbs are we?
Like regular breadcrumbs.
Okay.
Nothing fancy.
And just want to get everything over it?
You can also use eggs, before.
Does it need eggs?
No.
It does not?
In my opinion, it doesn't.
Okay. It still sticks. It's still got everything that it needs to come together.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at you go with that.
All right.
Now this is This is going into
the olive oil.
Okay.
The olive oil, sorry. Okay, you can also use olive oil if you want, but it's gonna be too expensive and too heavy.
So we got vegetable oil?
Yeah, but like any canola oil.
Okay. Something with a little higher smoking point too?
Yeah.
Very good. All right, and then what? Just go straight in?
Yep, straight in. And now we wait for like 5-6 minutes.
Perfect.
And that's it.
Well, that's just 2 of our Roman recipes done. Or if you're following the Roman numerals, aye. When we come back, another Italian classic, a pasta dish with just 3 ingredients, but it's a mouth-watering marvel of minimalism. We will reveal all when we come back on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. Today, we're cooking some classic Italian masterpieces with Chef Alessandro Toia. His Porcatoni food truck is based in St. Pete, but he's known far and wide since he impressed Anthony Bourdain with his cooking. And now he's sharing his secrets with us. Before the break, we made supplì, risotto, but fried up as croquettes with the mozzarella cheese. And before that, we made a traditional porchetta. Now, a 3-ingredient meal, Cacio e Pepe, literally cheese and pepper, which seems simple. Pasta, pepper, cheese. But it's all about having the right technique.
We're gonna put the pasta, when it's done, directly in the pan.
Okay.
This.
And we have just a hot pan already ready to go.
Yeah. And then we add some pasta water, which is the key of any pasta.
And you made sure that it tasted like the ocean. A lot of salt.
And we are gonna also add some butter.
So about a stick of butter then.
Yeah.
And to make this store-cupboard favorite for your dinner tonight, and chances are you have everything you need, including a masterclass on how to make it, which you can watch back anytime. How, you may ask?
Some more pasta
Head over
here.
to dinnerdeas.com for the recipe and a video of this show.
We take it out of the heat.
Okay.
And we start putting the cheese. So basically,
And what type of cheese?
this is pecorino romano.
Now this is where you want to get the right stuff. This
now
is where you want to get the good stuff.
You need a lot of pecorino, a lot of water, more pecorino.
You can never go wrong with more pecorino.
Never. Oops.
So it's a little bit from, a little bit from column A, a little bit from
No,
column B.
you
A
have
little
to-
bit more
yeah.
cheese, a little bit more water when you need to, it looks like.
You have to start stirring vigorously. Yeah, you see,
Everything tastes
it's
better
getting
with butter.
dry, so we regulate ourselves by eye. We add a little more pasta water.
And this is all through just eyeball and touch and seeing where it's going to be dry to what should be a nice little bit of, you can see it all come together.
Look.
It's like an Alfredo sauce.
Man, what Alfredo.
That's it right there. I dig it. All right, now all we got to do is just add
This
a little
is
bit
10 times better than Alfredo.
I think it's even going to be even better.
I mean, what are we talking about?
See, this is what we're talking about.
What are we talking about, man?
I love that. That looks
Look
absolutely
at
beautiful.
this.
Now the pepe
Now
comes
we
into
add the black pepper.
and that's just black pepper, you
A
say?
lot of black pepper.
A lot of black
Yeah,
pepper.
because it's cacio e pepe. So pepper is actually an ingredient, the main ingredient.
So you got to make sure that it's there because our Roman holiday of recipes is almost over, but there's just enough time to make sure these pass our taste test. When we come back, our verdict on what we've made here on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, delicious ideas for dinner from great chefs from all over the globe. Today, we're joined by Alessandro Toia, originally from Rome, but now the man behind Porcatoni, food truck based in St. Pete. We've been having our own Roman rendezvous of recipes, an authentic Italian porchetta, plus supplì. Those were the risotto croquettes and spaghetti cacio e pepe. The cooking is done, which means it's taste test time, my friend. Where are we gonna start with first? How do we go with it?
Well, it's up to you. You tell me.
I'll tell you exactly what I want to hear. This part right here. Quiet. Well, come on now. that crunch, that little bit right there. I'm going in for the pasta first then.
All right.
I love how everything was just, it's simple. It's simple ingredients, but it's absolutely out of this world fantastic.
That's the food of the Roman emperors.
And that was the food of the emperors, and we're over here enjoying it.
Yep.
How cool is that? Now it's time for,
Oh, the supplì, yeah.
let's go for it, my friend. The crunchiness, the creaminess that comes from the cheese, the smokiness from the bacon that's in there, all comes together in such a beautiful bite, my friends. Thanks again to Chef Alessandro Toia. Visit his porcatoni food truck in St. Pete. A link is on our website, dinnerdeas.com, along with all the recipes from today's show. And if you make any of them, let us know. That's what Mary Kay did. She found us online up in the Twin Cities. She made the black and tan chili from Sean Ekman, the executive chef for Yinling Draft House and Kitchen, and said it was wonderful with all of the complex flavors. Thank you so very much, Mary Kay. That's really cool. Twin Cities, you're watching it from there. I'm Jeff, or
Alessandro, and ciao mamma.
and Gofrito Philbin. Thanks for watching. See you next time with more Dinner Diaz.